Hello, it's Gary Lanham. I'm here with San Juanita Murphy today on Tuesdays with Gary, and I'd like to welcome you to the show. So it is July the 7th. We've had a really wonderful 4th of July holiday. I don't know about you, but it was like being in a war zone in my block. Lots of mortars going off, lots of fireworks. So I think individual homeowners took on the situation as personal riot time at your house. So we're still talking about real estate. We're still talking about doing real estate during COVID. And our main theme around doing COVID real estate is to always maintain safety for ourselves, safety for our customers, and safety for our buyers and sellers. So with me today, we're going to take a little bit different slant on being safe and conservative with our investments. So I brought with me today one of my good friends, San Juanita Murphy. She is with Prudential, and she is the representative for all of Caldwell Banker to help agents with their insurance coverages, and likewise works with a lot of our customers who may need some type of insurance product. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Gary. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on the show today. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for being here. So I got to ask you, so how are you dealing with the whole COVID situation and personally? I mean, what's it like?
Personally, have been very selective of who I see and what and where I go, and I really haven't gone anywhere since this pandemic happened. And business-wise, I was already working remotely a lot, so it really didn't change my business that much. It just added actually more Zoom calls or more Skype calls to my business is what it did, because I was already dealing with a lot of the clients on either a conference call level or a virtually remote level.
So I read an article about Google was talking about the pandemic and its effect on technology. And they said at a minimum, the pandemic has pushed us on the edge of new technology, probably 10 years faster than we would have ever achieved it. But I know you, and I know you through several organizations, Caldwell Banker, and also as the president of my BNI chapter. So you're not unfamiliar. You're very familiar with doing Zoom meetings, contacting your customers that way. Has this tool allowed you to stay in better touch with your contacts right now?
Absolutely. I think one of the things I run into is that they don't always want to do Zoom. They don't always want to do Skype. They rather, some of them just want to continue to do the conference calls. So I'm making them get more comfortable either doing a Zoom or a Skype call so that we can have a better connection.
So who would have ever thought, that buying a house and owning a home right now, we would have to take into consideration things like life insurance products or disability products. But could you share with us some of the products that you're offering to your customers, and specifically things that a realtor might want to talk to their customer about to make an entree for you to come in and talk to them so that we could protect them more?
Yes, of course. I mean, for those clients that are not able to put down the 20%, I understand that the bank gives them the insurance, which can be very, very expensive. However, for those that don't do that, it's a perfect time. Term insurance is the most inexpensive way. It's pure insurance to protect not only your mortgage, but also your household, because what they don't realize, and what I try to educate my clients, is that mortgage insurance that you're paying for when you bought your mortgage is only for your mortgage. That's it. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I try to educate them to make sure that, God forbid anything happens to you, once the house is paid off, do you need more protection for your family?
Right. So I'm assuming that you would be selling this type of insurance to somebody who's married or has a spouse, or someone who has children and dependents.
Well, anybody who has any obligation, or anyone who has a financial obligation with you, if it's up to you to make sure that they're cared for, whether it's making sure they're in a home or making sure that they're going to go off to college or whatever it is that you and your spouse talked about, that's where I come in and make sure that protection happens.
So let's talk a little bit about life insurance, and let's talk about the products that you actually have and are available to talk to with our customers?
So I like the most inexpensive, pure policy, pure insurance coverage is term insurance. You can get up to 15 times whatever your income is. So you can get a lot of protection. And so with Prudential, what we have been doing with our clients is anyone who is 18 to 60, if you didn't have enough life insurance, you could get up to at least 3 million in coverage.
That's
So
fantastic. So
yes.
what does that look like in terms of how expensive is that?
Well, I did a calculation or a quote for a 40-year-old male who was looking, let's say he just got a 30-year mortgage for $500,000. And that would run him if he's preferred best, because life insurance is about your health rating and how old you are. And so every year you get older, your insurance goes up. And of course, if you are not well or end up having a health issue, you may not even qualify. So we always like to get that done sooner than later. But a 40-year-old male, 30-year term for $500,000, you're looking at a $42 a month. If he's looking to buy $1 million, you're looking at $72 a month. I'm sure it's a lot cheaper than that bank insurance. And by the way, it doesn't decrease. It stays the same, unlike the bank insurance mortgage protection. And then if he's 40 years old and is looking at a 15-year term for $500 a month, he's looking at $36 a month for a 15-year term. Or if he's looking to cover $1 million, he's looking at $62 a month.
So that's pretty cheap, and so even if you satisfy your PMI and you have over 20% down, and you want to provide some protection for your family, what I'm hearing you say is for as little as less than $50 a month, basically, I can make sure that if something happened to me, that my surviving heir would have the ability to make my house payment and make it on time and not have to worry about anything.
Absolutely. And you should be able to decide what you want to do with your life insurance benefit. It is a tax-free benefit. If you want to pay off the house, great, do that. It's what we do, and what I do is I give you options. If you don't want to, then you don't. You have the money there, and that's where I sit down with you again, and now we talk about where are you in your life? Is it best to pay off that life insurance or not? And these are just conversations that we have to provide the best protection for the family.
So I love that idea of protecting the family and making sure that they can be better than we were as a unit, right? But how much life insurance do I need?
Great question. So what I do, and I'll be sending this to you, I have what is called a life estimator. And what it does is it helps you and your spouse put down what your current income is, what your debt is, how much life insurance you have right now, whether it's coming from work, group insurance, or maybe you have your own personal policies, what you're thinking of doing with that money in the future. Maybe you're putting money away for the kids' college education. So I'm able to give you some estimates on that. And you also look at what happens if that spouse is gone. Who's going to handle, maybe the kids are still young and you need somebody to take them to the daycare or somebody to come in and help you, even while you grieve, all of that. You put that down. It's a hypothetical. Then we take a look at it, we review it, and then we fill in the gaps is what we do. And that's basically what I have been doing, Gary, with this pandemic. When I reached out to my clients to make sure that everybody was everything was in order, we pulled out that life estimator, and my clients ended up purchasing more life insurance because they realized there was a gap just in case.
So it's kind of, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's similar to what I hear Don Rubin talk about in terms of people who are refinancing now. And he asked them, do you intend to make your first payment? And of course, everybody intends to, in a refinance or getting a mortgage, to make their payments, but there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. And I never like to really deal with fear or lead with fear, but in our COVID environment, some people are getting sick. And some people may not necessarily die from an accident or COVID or whatever it is. But what happens, how can we protect our customers if something does happen and they don't die?
Well, some of the benefits that are inside of the term policies or a lot of the life policies are what's called a living benefit. And that is a benefit that, God forbid, you become terminally ill. You can use those funds while you're still alive. There's also a waiver of premium that's put in the policy. Again, you didn't die, you're sick. That waiver of premium will protect you until you're age 65. And what it does is that if you had a policy with Prudential, they would pay that term up to the time that your term was getting ready to expire. And God forbid, again, if you're disabled, you didn't die, you're out of the insurance, you can convert now to a permanent policy to give you the protection. And that permanent policy protection would be how old you are at that time. Let's say you're 65, but way back when you were 40, you had preferred best rating. So it's going to be your preferred best rating plus how old you are. So those protections are there.
That's fantastic. Now, you and I deal with a lot of people who are entrepreneurs that have their own business in one shape or manner or form. And so suppose I have a business, is there a disability policy for my business that I should consider? Is there a different product, or will my disability policy cover that?
No, as a matter of fact, when I talk to my clients about these disability protections, is you need to have your own policy, because not only are you covering your personal expenses, now you also have to cover your business expenses. So, and that's, some of the headaches that some of the business owners have. So what we have is called a business overhead expense disability income insurance policy. By the way, this policy is 100% tax deductible to you. And what this does is make sure that your business continues to run smoothly. If you, the business owner, is no longer able to work, what it would do, it would provide funds to pay your rent. It would provide funds to pay all the salaries and all the utilities, anything that is due when you have that protection. And by the way, the best part about both of these policies, the disability personal policy and the business overhead policy, is that once you are on claim with either one of these policies or both of these policies, you no longer owe the premium.
So it's a premium waiver situation, which is really a great benefit. So you get the money in, you stop paying the premium, and you're good to go until you're requalified, I guess, to go back to work, right?
That is correct. And, I've had to use my personal policy as well. I feel that I am where I am right now personally is because I had a policy that protected me, that let me go back to work when I was ready to go back to work.
That's fantastic. And it's nice to know that you're truly an example, a living example of how it works for the positive has allowed you to continue to prosper in your career. Let's take it a little bit more personal now and talk about Caldwell Banker. And could you explain your role that you have with Caldwell Banker? And what are the things that you bring to the table for realtors throughout Caldwell Banker as well as Lauderdale?
Well, thanks. I've had the pleasure of being what I am called the VIP representative for Caldwell Banker from Port St. Lucie all the way down to Key Biscayne. So there's 25 offices that I go to, and we have a very unique program for the real estate agents where some of the carriers have stepped up and given us discounts to the agents that we wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. I mean, they can't even find some of this discount wise what the agents are getting. So I provide and make sure that they have connection to health insurance, Medicare, because by the way, when people turn 65 and Medicare happens, we have one of the best in our BNI group, but it's a huge mess and they love having that protection. So we have not only healthcare, Medicare plans, we got dental plans, vision plans. I help with all kinds of life insurance because everybody has different needs. As I tell them all the time, it's not a one size fits all. So they need to take the time to sit down with me. I also, besides, life insurance, I also make sure they're covered with any property and casualty plans from umbrella policies, homeowners, auto, jewelry, yacht insurance, and then of course, any retirement planning at all. I make sure that they are in the right products. I also make sure that I educate them to make sure when they're going out into this new career, what kind of business should your business be? So I try to bring in like Richard Karpelis from our BNI group to talk about my group, to talk to the real estate agents of how they should open up the business. I bring in the Medicare specialist to talk about Medicare. I'm constantly trying to educate the real estate agents on what is out there, what are the best products. And again, it's not a one size fits all. So we need to take the time to sit down and find the right fit for them.
So I really love that. And what I really love about that is kind of the fine print that we aren't saying. And what we're not saying is that the average age of a realtor is 57, right? And so you're taking that 57 average age and transitioning them then into Medicare so that they absolutely have the best coverage. Now, I guess the discounts that you're talking about for some of the coverages, I guess that would be as a result of a volume discount because Caldwell Banker has so many agents.
That is correct. So we are able to get that with both the business overhead policies, the disability policies, some of the retirement plans that we have for you. There are no discounts for life insurance. It's whatever's out there with health, whatever out there with Medicare. But yes, because of the level and the volume that we have inside of Caldwell Banker, that's how we were able to go back to these carriers and provide the kind of discounts that we're able to provide to the real estate agents.
Well, I love listening to all these insurance things, and I love the opportunity to know that agents, our customers, our buyers, our sellers can be protected when they're buying something should something terrible happen. But I want to end with another thing that I love that you do, and a lot of people don't know about it. Realtors spend a lot of money in the marketing and advertising of their business, and a lot of realtors don't retire rich. So one of the things that San Juanita offers to Caldwell Banker agents is the ability to invest. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yes. One of the best benefits that we have that I try to educate the real estate agents about is, ladies and gentlemen, retirement is only fun if you have money. So what we have been able to do with the Caldwell Banker agents is that we have been able to open up a variety of retirement plans, but one of the ones that works the best with them is a SEP IRA, because they're not only the employer, they're also the employee in a SEP IRA. And Caldwell Banker has made it easy for them so that when they have a closing, they get to determine how much they want to contribute into whatever carrier they pick to retire in. And when they have that closing, Caldwell Banker automatically sends in that deduction or contribution amount directly into their retirement plan. It doesn't get any easier than that. It's dollar cost averaging for them. They're picking up the market at different times. And that's how we have been able to get these real estate agents to retire. Because one of the things that we have found out about real estate agents, that they take care of everyone else except for themselves. And a lot of them find that at the end of their career, due to poor planning, they really haven't had much to show. So
I love that. I just love that benefit. And that's what I continue to impress upon my group, is that start investing part of your commissions before you even see the commission. So the investment amount comes out of your commission check. It goes somewhere else before you ever have a chance to put it in the bank. And that commission, by the way, can go into a tax deferred income account so that you don't even have to pay taxes on it. So it's a really wonderful opportunity for agents to start accumulating wealth and make sure they have some personal security as they go into retirement.
Well, I'm proud to say that when I did call these agents and they were asking me, should I continue to make these contributions? I said, absolutely. You're coming in now at the very low part of the market. You're going to be picking up some really great stuff along the way. Everyone has been very happy with the outcomes of the decisions that we have made with respect to putting them in these retirement plans.
So I really appreciate all the information you share with us today, San Juanita. It looks like we have an opportunity to help our buyers of our homes to make sure we can protect them with their mortgage should something go wrong. But it also sounds like we have a great opportunity to help realtors throughout the Fort Lauderdale area. And I know they don't have to be just Caldwell Banker agents. And we really appreciate and help others in our profession. How'd you like the show today? How's it feel?
I love it. I mean, I'm all here cozy mosey in my bed. So you told me to be relaxed. I'm relaxed. I love it.
Well, we're going to come back to you in just a minute. In the meantime, I want to kind of get ready to share with everybody. We've got this big project at the Gary Lanham Group, and it's called Urban Village. It's a new development project where there are going to be 90 units. We're bringing 11 units online by July 15th. And I think we've got a little video that we can share with you about that project right now.
Perfect.
So that's the project, San Juanita, and we talked about it today in our BNI meeting. And that's where I think it would be a great opportunity for us to do some safe social distancing and to actually be out together with our BNI colleagues. I'd like for you also to kind of mark your calendar, because on July the 29th at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have Mayor Matt Sparks, who's the mayor of Oakland Park. He's going to come down for a ribbon cutting for the project. We're really excited about it because it means we're continuing new construction. We got units to sell, and we've got a staff member of the Gary Lanham group there every day from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. So I invite you to that, and I hope you'll join us. So
thank you. I'll be there.
Please come. Nancy Corey will be there. We'll have all the brass from Caldwell Banker, and I understand Duff Rubin is making a guest appearance coming over from Sarasota. So I know he'll be glad to see you.
Oh, yeah, I'm always happy to see Duff. So make sure also, just doing my job again as being a president, put that on our group, put that on our Facebook, give that to Armando. So he's just letting everybody know about that. We want to make sure that we all get there to support you, even through social distancing.
Well, we love that and really appreciate it. And Sam, again, so much for coming today. I learned a lot about how to protect myself, whether I'm should something really bad happen to me, or if I should become disabled and I needed to still make my house payment. I learned about insuring a disability payment for my business. And I already know about that wonderful benefit you have of deducting money from my commission so that I can build wealth and have a retirement plan the way I need to retire and want to retire. Thank you so much for being with us today. Next week, I want to talk to you about a little introduction. Someone you know, I think, Eric Wilner is going to be on the show, and he has the longest running real estate radio show in the country. And Eric is going to be on our show next week, and he's going to talk to us about accumulating wealth through investment income properties. And he'll also share a lot of information about his radio show. So without further ado, thank you again, San Juanita.
Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate you giving me the time with you today. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Really glad you're here. And without further ado, we'll sign off for now, and we'll see you next week, which will be July the 14th. Thank you so much. Thank you to Chachachi, who's been running the slides as our videographer. We could not do this without you. Until then, we'll see you again.